All right, let's take a live look at downtown St. Louis this morning as roads here and across the bi-state are still pretty slick. Consistent snowfall yesterday have some major roadways still covered. By the way, if you're coming downtown, also the roads not plowed this morning, or at least not the roads that I traveled on this morning. It was chaos on so many roads yesterday. St. Louis police actually responded to 111 accident calls just in this city. We're just talking the city limits, guys. Over in Illinois, video shows a semi crash on 270 near the Chain of Rocks Bridge. You may have seen this on social media. That's where I saw it first. The crash caused a massive backup, delaying drivers for hours. It was like this for almost every major highway in the area. Each state's Department of Transportation admitted they did not pre-treat the roads. Mercedes McKay is tracking those road conditions right now as you head out the door. How much has really changed? You know, she's going to have more on why the departments didn't prepare for those roads for yesterday's snow. But Gary, I got to tell you, you have been working overdrive. I mean, really, it's been a lot for you.
We got a lot more snow on Saturday, but it was closer to freezing. And then when this snow fell, it was below freezing. And, you know, it didn't really change amount-wise, but it was one of those things where, you know, all you can do is prepare for what kind of snow that we have and then focus on that. But in terms of what's going on the roads, you know, we can't do everything about that, right? You can only say what's going to happen and expect snow to be ready to be cleared, but man, you just never know how these things are going to impact you. Like I said, 1, 2, 3 inches, it doesn't matter. It can cause a problem. That's why we have these weather impact alert days, right? So temps in the low 20s. What I'll tell you right now from, as Michelle's talking about driving in to downtown, driving in from West County, you still see, obviously, there are a couple of spots where, yeah, it's been cleared, but it's not fully clear. And to me, that's where you're going to run into. It's partly clear where maybe there's 1.5 lanes in some cases, even on major interstates. Or we've gotten to the point where it's kind of matted down. You see the side street here that's kind of the outer road that you used to use for the mall. I don't really use it anymore. But anyway, cloud cover at the moment is still with us. So that's kept us from really falling. Now, the rest of the day, we will see improving conditions in terms of cloud cover. So that's at least something. But as we look ahead to the rest of the day, maybe some more sunshine by mid-morning. That will help clear things up. But overall, cold, quiet, and dry. Let's focus on those roads now, because that's, to me, what we're going to see as we look at a couple of different spots that are on the slower side. What you'll notice is 70 at TR Hughes. Still, the left lane continues to be blocked on the eastbound side. And that's causing a problem, right? Because if we already have about 1.5 lanes blocked, and a lot of these spots are bridges, overpasses, you kind of see that right here as we have issues beyond that. Now, the big story here as we look at a couple other things. Let me switch clickers here. As we've got 70 TR Hughes, you can see it's slow everywhere, right? You're not probably going the full speed anywhere, but there are going to be accidents this morning with more people on the roads, because there's accidents right now without people on them. They're not fully clear. There's where that incident is right now. And as we continue to get closer to the city, still, you'd be surprised. It is relatively okay to some degree, but I think what you're going to run into driving in that I've seen is a couple of stalled vehicles. And if there's a stalled vehicle left over from yesterday, or you run into the spot where you're driving on 64 downtown and all of a sudden you're on a bridge. It's the same thing on 44 where you're close to Eureka. You're in an overpass where it's gotten colder. There's slicker spots. Those are the things that you're running into as well. So right now, that's the main story that we have. But I want to check in with Mercedes McKay is in the weather tracker. Driving around, I'm sure you're running into the same problem everybody else has. We got the one lane, but then all of a sudden it's 2 lanes, and then it's back to not clear, and then you're trying to get over, and then that's where I think chaos ensues.
Yeah, Gary, you're exactly right. So kind of on average, what we're seeing is maybe 1.5, if we're lucky, 2 lanes that are open at this time. So I'm going to flip the camera so y'all can see what we're seeing right now. We're on 170 North. We're actually heading towards that accident that Gary's been talking about all morning, that jackknife semi at 70 at TR Hughes. So we are heading that way. But as you can see, just all that snow and precipitation that's coming back from this truck, this is what you're going to see all morning long. You know, heading into downtown St. Louis, those roads aren't great at all. Those side streets really aren't clear at this time. The interstates, interestingly enough, so when I was heading into work, I was taking 64 East. That was terrible, in all honesty. That was around 3:30 this morning, so take that into consideration. It could be different, but you know, I only really saw one lane clear at that time. 64 West, as we were heading away from downtown St. Louis towards St. Charles County area, was a little bit better. But again, you can see on the left side of the road right now, we are completely losing a lane as we head on to St. Charles Rock Road area. So this is just what you're going to see all morning long. We really, you guys, haven't gone over about maybe 45 miles per hour. We're taking it really slow. I think the trickiest part right now is when you see water on the road. Is it water? Is it ice? You really don't know at this point. So you want to take it slow. We see this every time. I can count time and time again when I've been in the storm tracker. People are going way too fast. You do not need to be going the speed limit. Go under, because it's just not worth it at this time. Your car doesn't drive the same in this type of weather, and you have no idea. So take a look on your screen, that left side, we're completely losing a lane again. It really is hit or miss of when it looks good and when it doesn't. But I want to kind of give y'all a bird's eye view of what our roads are looking like as a whole in the Missouri area. So I'm going to take a look at our MoDOT travelers map. So you can see right now that purple is when these snow roads are completely covered with snow. That's what that looks like. So what we're seeing right now is a lot of partly covered. And I will say this is really, really accurate at this time. You know, as we're heading on closer north on I-70, it's getting a little trickier as we kind of head towards that airport area. These lanes are really, really covered at this time. But again, partly covered, I would say, as we've been around the area most of the morning right now, is pretty accurate. Now, Michelle mentioned this earlier, but both MoDOT and IDOT did acknowledge that crews did not treat roads yesterday morning. MoDOT says crews didn't get out because they thought the snow would start later than it actually did, while IDOT says if crews got out yesterday morning, it may not have helped.
We didn't get out there. If we would have known it was going to come in at noon, we would have had them first thing this morning. They would have been out hitting things. So as this evolved this morning, we got them out as soon as we could. You know, we can always wish that we would have got them out earlier, but we only can do as much as we know. We got them out as soon as we could once it started.
Everybody gets so excited about pre-treating, but this is a good example of why it actually kind of can hurt you a little bit. So if you notice when it came in, it actually came in as a little bit of sleet mixed in. You know, we would be able to shove that off if there wasn't any chemical on the roadway. So what it ended up doing is diluting some of the chemical.
So right now I'm giving y'all a picture. We're about a half a mile away from that airport exit on I-70. And this road is probably one of the worst we've been on at this time. 64 West wasn't terrible, but this road's pretty bad. I would say we maybe only had one lane open right now. Again, these on and off ramps, we're gonna be saying it all morning long. This is when things can get really tricky. You need to go a lot slower than you usually do because these roads are really, really icy. When I was actually exiting downtown St. Louis, 64 East, going downtown, that ramp was completely covered. So that's what you're going to see. As you can see on the right side and left side of your screen, our interstate ramp just keeps getting narrower and narrower. And now right now, as you can see, a lot of this area is covered with snow. So again, we're going to be saying it all morning long, but just make sure you're taking your time. Again, we're heading towards that accident on 70 at TR Hughes where that jackknife is. We've seen a lot of stalled vehicles as well. And these roads are definitely covered at this point in time. Some look better than others. So just make sure you're giving yourself a lot of times. A lot of us yesterday were stuck in traffic for hours when usually it's a 10-minute commute. It took you close to an hour. So if you're getting up this morning, heading to work, heading to school, just give yourself a lot of time because I think we're going to be seeing a lot of issues on the road this morning. And as always, just stay safe and take it slow. Live in the Storm Tracker, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.